Welcome back, astronauts, and can you believe that we are within a week of Starfield's early access launch? I cannot believe it. Hit that like button if you are super excited for Starfield's launch, which of course is on September 1st for early access, and then September 6th for everyone else. And in this video, I've got a lot of news to cover, including a tease by level designer Zach Wilson, who talks about the legendary enemy ships in Starfield, and he teases just how massive these ships are. And then Bethesda also reveals that Starfield will have no level cap for your player. That's insane. So I'll be talking about that. And then Phil Spencer reveals that he expects Starfield to last over 10 years. Let's hear from him on that as well. And then there's some drama around a leaker who leaked Starfield. Apparently they got arrested for allegedly selling copies of Starfield before its release. I'll be talking about that. And then of course, I'll be responding to your top comments as well. So let's jump into the video, astronauts, and get this started. So let's start the video off by hearing from senior level designer Zach Wilson from Bethesda, who spoke about the legendary enemy ships that I guess are absolutely massive in the game from what he is describing here. So this was featured on the Bethesda website in an interview, and this is what Bethesda asked Zach. So they asked, what's your favorite space encounter or activity? And Zach responded and said, there are a couple that I really like, but that I want to keep under wraps until after the game releases so that they can be a surprise to players. One that I've always loved features a hapless tour guide leading a bunch of excited townies out for a space tour and are very excited to meet a real captain. The dialogue is hilarious. We also have legendary ship encounters. These are huge, high-level enemy ships that will dramatically outclass the player through the early part of the game that you have to build up to being able to destroy. He then goes on to say, I also really like our derelict ships. We built a bunch of handcrafted derelict ships that focus on the tragedies and perils of space travel that the player can explore and discover the stories behind. The best part about these is we solicited stories from people outside the design team for their contribution, so folks who don't normally get to contribute content to the game were able to put their unique stamp on the game. One of our designers that came from the modding scene, Chris Takahashi, also built several really exciting ship encounters. So that is amazing to hear that modders actually got involved with the game development, which is just, again, this is something incredible and just shows how attached Bethesda is to the community. And Bethesda also recently revealed that Starfield will have no level cap for your character in the game. This comes from a Game Rant article, and this is what the article had to say. It says, Bethesda has confirmed that there is no max level cap in Starfield. During a live-streamed Gamescom interview, Pete Hines, the head of publishing at Bethesda Softworks, revealed that the character leveling system would be an almost infinite mechanic. The article then goes on to say, since there's no maximum level limit in Starfield, the game is expected to employ a level scaling mechanism for enemies similar to that seen in Fallout 4. Essentially, as players progress and increase their level, they will come across progressively stronger enemies. So this bodes very well for Starfield's future and for your playthrough of Starfield, knowing that your character has no level limit. And I'm also guessing this is going to bode well for upcoming DLC as well, because this could tie into your leveling up your character. So this is very, very exciting for the future of Starfield, and I'm sure that modders are going to have a field day with the many different levels in the game as well. And also, we got to hear from Phil Spencer. This was posted by GameSpot. They said Starfield can have a Skyrim-like 10-year lifespan. Phil Spencer says, and this is exactly what Phil Spencer was quoted. He said, our hope is that it is another game that's around a decade plus longer. later after it launches and people are still enjoying it. If this does not get you excited, I don't know what will. And of course, I think this is going to be because of the dedication that Bethesda has to their community, to the DLC they're going to be releasing, and then also, of course, the full mod support. So, from what I'm seeing so far and from what I've heard from Bethesda, from the Starfield Direct, from Gamescom, from all these interviews, from Phil Spencer, Todd Howard, and Pete Hines, it just sounds like they are so focused on supporting the community, supporting their own developers, supporting the game. So yeah, leave a comment down below. What DLC do you want to see from Bethesda? I've already asked about modding plenty, but what DLC do you want to see from Bethesda after the Shattered Space DLC? And there's been some major drama around a leaker of Starfield. Yes, a leaker who allegedly sold illegal copies of Starfield got arrested. And this is what the article had to say about this. It says the person who leaked 45 minutes of Starfield has been arrested for handling stolen goods. As spotted by Kotaku, 29-year-old Darren Harris was arrested and booked on a felony charge by the Shelby County Sheriff's Office earlier this week after allegedly trying to sell stolen copies of the game ahead of its September 1st release date. The article then goes on to say it took just 4 days for police to find and arrest Harris after he leaked a 45-minute segment of the game online. Although, to be fair, Harris had plastered his social media with numerous videos about his ill-gotten gain, so he shouldn't have been too surprised when the police cars pulled up. So yeah, obviously it's a very serious offense if you are leaking the game and then on top of that allegedly selling copies of the game as well, and there will be consequences. And as the article mentioned, it wasn't hard for them to find him because he plastered all of this all over his social media. So this is kind of like a warning shot fired out there to all leakers, to all the people who are selling illegal copies of the game, that if you're going to do this, you expect major consequences. And this was also posted by Peter Ovo on Twitter. This is a photo of the waiting line over at Gamescom to see Starfield. This is absolutely mind-blowing and just shows you the hype around Starfield's launch. And keep in mind, this is not a waiting line to play the game. This is just a waiting line to see the theater experience of Starfield. So this is how big the excitement is for Starfield right now. And on other news, I'm going to talk about Elder Scrolls 6 because there is a quote from Todd Howard about this. This was posted by comicbook.com. This is what the article said. It said, during a recent interview with GQ, and when asked if he thinks it was revealed too early, Todd Howard suggests he may have announced the game more casually if he had a do-over. And again, of course, he's talking about Elder Scrolls 6 here. He says, I have asked myself that a lot. I don't know. I probably would have announced it more casually. It's like I don't want to answer, but I want to be polite. I will say that we wanted to fill that role of the ultimate fantasy world simulator, and there are different ways to accomplish that given the time that has passed. So I'm assuming he's referring to the time that has passed since they teased Elder Scrolls 6. So a lot has happened with technology. That's what my guess is what he's referring to. And I think this also refers to the advancements in AI technology and all of that stuff. I would not be surprised if they implement some type of NVIDIA, AI dialogue technology with their NPCs where you can actually speak directly to the NPCs and then the NPCs actually respond to your own voice in real time with unscripted dialogue. I would not be surprised if they are experimenting with that with Elder Scrolls 6. That's my guess on it. What do you think about Todd Howard's quote about Elder Scrolls 6? Post in the comments down below. And you know what time it is? It's time for your top comments. I'm going to respond to them right now, starting off with Big Zed, who says, what Bethesda did incredibly well, trusting the fans with the marketing. I mean, dishing out review codes like bread and wine just shows. It's amazing, and I am all for it, and I totally agree with this. I have a review copy of Starfield. I've been playing it for a very long time now, for the last week or so, and I am so grateful to Bethesda and Microsoft for sending me a review code. I still can't believe it. I was in shock when I got the email about it, to be honest, and I'll be posting my coverage of this on Thursday, August 31st at 12 p.m. ET or 9 a.m. PT. So that'll be right here on the channel. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to be doing a full review of Starfield, or what I would like to call an initial review of Starfield. And then also I'm going to be posting tons of gameplay as well. And most importantly, this will all be spoiler free. So I will not be spoiling the main story of Starfield in my review or in any of the gameplay videos, because of course I want you all to experience that firsthand. And this next top comment from Steven also says that he is also very excited for the August 31st embargo for all of the reviews. So again, if you're excited, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel here, and then don't forget to turn on notifications, because you're not going to want to miss all the coverage I have of Starfield starting on Thursday, August 31st at 12 p.m. ET or 9 a.m. PT. So be there. So that's going to do it for the video, astronauts. I will see you in the next video, and keep my eyes peeled for any more news until Starfield releases on September 1st for early access, and then September 6th for everyone else. So I will see you all later, and I cannot wait to hear what you all think about Starfield as well. So come back to the channel, post in the comments. I would love to hear your experience on the game when you first play it. See you all later. Take it easy, astronauts, and see you later.